Hey guys, before we get into this video, I feel like it's a common misconception that every single software engineer has this seemingly aesthetic and organized life. Most of the videos that we watch now on YouTube are the ones that showcase their life, but with barely of the work actually in there. Although I don't plan on recording in the office anytime soon, I still want my video to hold some type of value to those of you who are watching. So I thought, what better way to do that than to just break down what it is we do on a typical workday, and then you can see what my typical workday looks like. So the beginning of the day is usually anchored by a stand-up meeting with the team. And now you're probably thinking, what is a stand-up meeting and why do we use it? Teams will usually use an agile-oriented workflow system, and this enables the teams to see all the tickets that's been assigned to them. And on this board, they will have different categories like to do, in progress, whether it's in code review or whether it needs to be reviewed by QA, and then whether it's actually been finished. And this is just to help manage what the team is working on for what day, etc, etc. Usually when it comes to the tickets, you only want to assign tickets to the team for that sprint. And a sprint is a set period of time in which the tickets must be completed and ready for review. Obviously, it's not usually that strict. Again, it's dependent on the company that you work for, but it's to encourage the team to be constantly working on something, constantly going through tickets, bugs, refactoring code, making sure that the team is being productive. Of course, an example of an agile-oriented workflow system could be something like Jira, which is quite popular, or 𝑁𝒊𝒂𝒒𝒔. Usually for these stand-up meetings, a Scrum Master would be assigned, and the Scrum Master is most likely going to be the person who is currently on call. What is a Scrum Master? What is on call? What does that mean? You're just chucking words at me now. Alright, let me explain. A Scrum Master is the person who's responsible for leading the process of that stand-up meeting. So they'll be the ones initiating discussion, asking team members, hey, what did you work on yesterday? What do you plan to work on today? How far did you get with your ticket yesterday? Do you have any blockers? This will also include maybe going through discussion topics that the whole team needs to be involved in, or maybe going through open CRs that need attention, that type of work. Okay, so what is an on-call? So someone who is on-call means they're responsible for overseeing high-level issues or tasks, maybe 𝒊𝒄 or 𝒊𝒄 tickets, that might come about outside of normal work hours. When I mean 𝒊𝒄, 𝒊𝒄, that is the severity of the ticket, and usually the more severe, the quicker response that is needed from the team. But obviously the team's not going to be online 24/7, so we need someone that oversees this for the rest of the team. So then it might seem a little bit silly to make the Scrum Master the person who's on call, since the person who's on call will have quite a tight schedule already.
4 o'clock, wallow with self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss.
But it does make sense, because during the morning discussion with your team, while everyone's trying to organize what everyone's going to be working on for that day, whether they're making progress, whether they're not because there's a blocker issue, the on-call is going to have the most context overall, because they would have been looking at all of these things in the background outside of normal work hours. So they'll be able to bring the most context, the most value to a conversation. Okay, cool. So now you've had your stand-up meeting. Everyone knows what they're going to be doing for the day. What happens after that? Well, post stand-up meeting, you're most likely going to be catching up on some emails, maybe jumping into calls with some of your teammates if you're working from home. This is usually because stand-up meetings will outline a team's action plans for that day, that week, however they want to organize it. And so maybe there may be some points that you need to further discuss with your teammates before you are able to work on some code, fix some bugs, refactor code. So after the stand-up meeting is when you would find time to do that. And then you'll have a slot for lunch. There's not really much for me to explain about that. You have lunch, whether with your team, whether with other friends in your office, then you come back. And after lunch is usually where you will spend most of your time doing solo work. Really just putting your head down and focusing on the work that you have to do for that day. I think it's also important to note that your work could vary. You could have a bunch of meetings that you need to go to with other team members across different teams that are helping you with the project. And if you do have meetings for the rest of your day, that doesn't mean you haven't been productive. Those meetings could be design doc reviews or launch plans, for example. And those meetings are equally important to that of you coding for the rest of your day. I feel like I've covered most areas of what a software engineer does. Again, I am an apprentice, so there might be some areas I haven't covered well, and if that's the case, please do leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to answer your question. But yeah, that's it. That's what we do.
Yeah, good morning. So yesterday I was looking into the block issue 6336. I synced with the BI engineer in the evening, and he realized they are now getting data.
Good morning. Nothing much to update on today. I'm just working on the test still. So yeah, that's my update for today.
Welcome to the shadows of doubt. In this area, you walk through the alleyway in darker times.
Strategy, this is what we're going to do, and then that's why we need to do this. And it changes everything, it changes perception, and it changed my career, to be honest, and I hope it changes many people's here.